Hello, happy Saturday. There's something missing in the spiritual ascension construct and spiritual awakening, and it's really important, and that is authenticity. In my own journey, when I was processing this trauma that I was going through, I developed a coping mechanism of fear of rejection, or perhaps it's been here for a long time. It's kind of a primal thing too, because you need to fit in order to, feel safe, right? So, but people are kind of taking it to a whole nother level, and knowing that being your authentic self is one of the most deeply, wonderfully regarded things that you could be doing. So I find it really interesting how not only with the COVID pandemic and everything with the mask wearing, but also looking at different masks that we wear to protect ourselves and to fit in. And you may know people who will do and say different things in order to be accepted wherever they are, wherever they go. But it doesn't allow you to live your authentic life if you're always doing what other people want to do. And the reason why people do this, and the reason why I was doing it, is because I want to be accepted. I want to feel loved. I want to feel supported. And a lot of these insecurities start in childhood. And as we grow up into becoming adults, and especially with all the social media, with people getting upset if you don't follow them back, or if you don't follow or like something, like this all plays into that narrative. And so, when people are doing this, it's really hard to actually be your true self if you are trying to fit the mold of what you think other people will approve of in regards to yourself. So think about this in ways of yourself communicating, the way that you communicate, and the way that people who are empathic and energetically sensitive communicate, where oftentimes you feel bad for other people, or you do all these different things in order to go along with the crowd, go along with the flow, to make sure people are at ease and calm around you. You don't want anybody whose feelings hurt, okay? So there's an aspect of this that's actually completely not in alignment with the truth of your true soul and who you are. For some reason, I thought that me being my authentic self would not be approved of. And I never really, or I wouldn't say that, but there's been times when I've done things for other people and I've gone out of my way to make sure that they'd like me, or to say yes to their plans, or to go along with their plans, or just even think my thoughts to conform to what other people wanted. And this is that people-pleasing mechanism. But again, you can't be your authentic self if you're pleasing others. And the people-pleasing aspect with spiritual awakening is really, really, really important to overcome, because all of Source, all of consciousness wants you to be your most authentic, amazing self. And if you're always catering to other people's needs all the time, it's hard to do that. So if you notice that this will show up in indecisiveness, okay? Indecisiveness is a big symptom of people-pleasing, okay? It's not because you don't know what to do. It's because you always go with what other people want to do. So reclaiming your choices, reclaiming your power to choose what you want and what you deserve in your life and what you want to go after is very important, okay? And there's that belief deep down subconsciously that if you do what you want, then you'll be thought of differently, or people won't like you. But then who are you actually attracting anyway if you're going along with what other people want, So now also the authenticity, tearing down your masks and, being who you are. We want authenticity. I want to be authentic, and I didn't realize I wasn't being authentic. And here I was doing all these other things for other people and not living my true life, which I know that I want to experience a lot of magic in my life. I want to experience a lot of joy in my life. And I felt like if I was my true joyful self all the time, that it would make other people feel bad. And so I'd lower my frequency to match theirs. And I didn't realize I was doing this, and it was making me feel like crap. Okay. So what I've learned is this little pathway to reintegrate and reframe the energies, and to actually, with my words in my subconscious mind, into going into, well, I am in control of what I choose. I am able to choose what I want, and what I want is okay. But also, by focusing my energy back on myself, by creating a self-care routine in the morning is so important. Meditation, first thing when I wake up out of bed, doing energy work on myself. Second thing after I meditate, then I take my shower, then I eat my food, and I make sure that my needs are taken care of before I do anything else. And the self-care routine is so important, because if you don't take control of your morning the way that you want or need it, you're opening yourself up to anything that happens to you. And I know that feels like shit. I don't like feeling like that. Like feeling like I'm subjected to everybody else's drama and pain. I like to know that I am able and capable of being and doing what I want to do and going after what I want to dream about. I don't want to be caught in a manipulation loop with needing to check my social media, with needing to check my emails first thing. I don't want to be controlled by external factors, because when we allow ourselves to be controlled by external factors, it makes a person perceive themselves as a victim. Because if you are being perceived as, or if you are allowing the external world to move you around, you're not grounded, you're not set, you're not being you. You're not allowed to be you if you give all of your energy and time to everything but yourself and what you want, what your heart wants, what your soul wants, what your soul wants you to come here to be and do and to dream. If you are always acting or reacting to other people's needs, you're not living your own life at all. And it sucks, because there's a lot of people who are going through this. And we talk about breaking through the matrix or breaking out of the matrix. And this is a part of that manipulation, that guilt story of the need to fit in order to be approved of, in order to feel like you belong. When in reality, your authenticity is the most important thing that belongs. Your authentic, truest nature of who you are is who belongs. Okay? So when we try to enhance everything that we have to show off, and so we're approved of more because we feel like, oh, people will approve of us if we have this or have that, or show mom and dad that we've made it and I don't need to be, we have all this validation externally. And it really comes into self-belief. And if you have a lack of self-belief, then you're going to be owned by this external manipulation force that's going on through the social media, through this need and want of needing to be approved of, to have all the followers in the world. If you have all the followers in the world, I think you'd just be distracted rather than truly happy, because you're not going to be living your authentic self. Now, these are all things that I've had to learn, and to bringing my voice back into myself. And it really contributes to your perception of self-worth, to your level of self-belief and how you believe in yourself, how you are confident and are able to be confident in who you are. There's an interesting thing that happens. If you do not choose your own self-belief, you'll choose a life of humility or humbleness. And that humbleness, we've been taught that it's not okay to be proud of yourself. That being proud is being arrogant, and that being proud is actually not okay. But I want to ask you, think of somebody, maybe somebody who you really look up to or whatnot, who is proud. Are they arrogant? Are they a narcissist? Or do they just believe in themselves, and do they just believe in who they are? And do they care about what other people think about them? Okay. Some people don't give a care about what other people think about them. And to be quite honest, I've spent the last 5 years going through this trauma of being with a narcissist partner 5 or 6 years ago. And I was replaying this victim wound. I was replaying all the words that he had told me about me. And I chose to adopt his voice, his lack of love as my own. And I kept replaying that. And the other day I allowed myself to realize that, wait, that was never mine. That was never mine. Oh my gosh. And then I was going through all this people-pleasing stuff, and I realized that I was operating on his frequency. And it was debilitating. It was depressing. It was causing a lot of problems in my life. And most importantly, it was causing my mental health to be at stake. And it really all comes down to being authentic with who you are and owning your boundaries. And how do you reclaim your boundaries after you've gone through something, that's so traumatic, where, with something manipulative, as a person who was raised with a complete lack of love is able to tell you things about you, and to where it's manipulated to where you slowly start to believe it to be true. Okay? So part of this journey is, how do we reclaim that power and move out of it? To realize that your inner voice is not a self-defeating, not a self-victimizing voice. And perhaps you were raised by parents, or perhaps you were raised by computers or tablets and social media that teaches you that you also are not good enough because you don't have what other people have. There's this manipulative force that's out there, and it's played off of guilt consciousness, separation consciousness, and we have to rise up and move out of that. So what we're doing on the 29th is we're going to be talking about this. We're going to be talking about it, but we're going to be doing hypnotherapy and sound together with beautiful Asian gongs and chimes and everything, creating a soundscape. And we're going to use these aspects of what is it like to regain control of your life and believe in yourself again and bring your power back into your own authentic self. So July 29th, we're going to be on live stream or through in person in Sedona. Okay. And it's the Light of Two Worlds. You've probably seen a bunch of the promos that I've been doing because it's such an important topic. It's such an important topic. Your true happiness relies on your self-belief, not your self-detriment. Okay? In order to let go of that inner voice, which many people label the inner critic, where did that critic form? Do you think yourself as a baby was born with an inner self-defeating critical voice that says that you're not enough and you're not capable of anything? Or was that developed through societal means and different things that you see externally in order to feel as though you fit in? How weird would that be if that inner critic was actually created from a space of you needing love and to feel validated and to fit in? And what if you had the control and the ability to reclaim your true inner voice, which is something that's nurturing, self-loving, like an inner cheerleader, like an inner Richard Simmons cheering you on, that you can do anything, you can create anything, you can have anything, you are worthy of anything. And you can think new thoughts now that you reclaim your inner voice, and you can start living in a life that's built off of empowerment, live a life off of, out of abundance, and rising out of that victim mentality of survival and moving into a state of thriving. And this is all, wrapped around with epigenetics and the way that, our family structures, our generations of family structures have, we've never been this way. So we've never known what it's like to thrive or to feel great about myself. In fact, most families get around, they talk about what sucks. In fact, everybody in society gets together and mostly talks about what sucks or what's bad. And that comes from that survival mechanism right here, located in the brain, caused from you perceiving the life or lives as you don't belong, as you don't fit in, and you are not good enough because you are not like everybody else. When in reality, what if we took the masks off and said, you know what? This is actually who I am. I'm going to be this way. Sorry, Mom. Sorry, Dad. Sorry, all these people. I've been lying to you, and I've forgiven myself because I didn't realize that there is a different way to live in a state of love. This is very important. Your authentic self, your authentic, beautiful self is very important. Do you go along with the crowd? Do you go along with the flow? because you want to fit in? Do you say what other people want to hear because you have a deep subconscious need to fit in? But here's the thing, is that even if you were all alone, you're never alone. There's angels, there's guides, there's all sorts of beings that are here to support you. Your worthiness is not reliant on other people. Okay, so what is it like to start recreating that narrative of believing in yourself, to believing in your true authentic nature, and to discover the most amazing aspect of life that you can live? Okay, this is what I'm helping people with in my coaching. This is what I'm helping people with in my solo sessions, which are available. If you need any help, reach out. I do have different coaching plans, 3 months, 6 months, and where I take people on this journey of rediscovering your authentic nature. And in the spiritual world, in this new age movement that everybody is moving into, are they moving into it because it's authentic to them? Or are they moving into it because it's what everybody else is doing? Are you living somebody else's truth? Or are you living your own truth? It's hard to know what's true if you don't give yourself the time to take care of yourself, to create that self-care routine. And this is what I do to help people out. So if you're interested, let me know, reach out. You can text me, call me directly, leave a voicemail, 510-590-8185. We can have a nice little chat and talk about what may be right for you and what you'd want to really get out of your life. Okay? So this methodology, or this aspect of self-empowerment, is really important. And being a person who has gone through these traumas and whatnot, and moving myself through them and realizing there's different narratives that I was choosing to think and believe in rather than my own voice, was getting me in a lot of trouble. And so I really want to help people, move out of that mindset, and so we can all move into a state where we can be inspiring to our own communities and to other people everywhere. So if you're interested, my website's theepichuman.com, where it's all about helping people reconnect to the truest design of who you are, to be, to remember your true authentic self. Okay. And it's quite fascinating how this all plays together. Is it possible to move out of trauma and into a place of victory, or into a place of thriving? Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's easier than you think. So, do we need to care about all the fears that everybody else has, especially when people are talking about, lack of funds or gas is rising or whatnot? No. I mean, cool, you can choose to be afraid of it, or we can update our beliefs about it, and we can choose a new story to believe in. And choosing a new story to believe in is often what works. It's called adapting. Okay? If I need to adapt to make things happen, I'm going to start telling myself something new, because the way that I was telling myself what was going on wasn't working for me. So I have to know that I'm responsible for my own thoughts, my own actions, and that I have self-responsibility over my own self, that I don't need to believe in what other people believe, because that doesn't work for me. Society, the majority of what society believes in, doesn't work for me. So I've had to actually go against the grain and say, you know what? I'm going to be myself. I'm going to think new thoughts. What thoughts are true to me? I can tell which thoughts are true to me because they feel good. And feeling good, law of attraction, that's what they all say is amazing and wonderful. So let's feel good. How do we feel good? We change our thoughts. We change our perceptions. You stop watching news. You stop watching trash TV. Okay? You take your control back to live a life that is in an aspect of self-control and self-responsibility. Self-control what? Most people love to run away from their emotions. Most people love to fill their lives with all sorts of different coping mechanisms, drinking or going partying, and Lord knows I've been there. But what is it like to have self-control, to be self-responsible, and to feel at peace with yourself because you have chosen new ways of reprogramming your subconscious mind the way that you can consciously think? If you're not in control of your thoughts, that means somebody else is. If you are not in control of your thoughts, somebody else is. And if you are in control of your thoughts and somebody else is, that means that you are being programmed, that you are in a moving state of hypnosis, and that other people are controlling your life. And that doesn't feel good. That's not sovereignty. That's not freedom. So how do we reconnect to this? How do we reconnect to this? We have to change some things. But what you think you need to change is different than what actually needs to change. So what you need to change is actually what you perceive. And this is why hypnotherapy is so potent, because it allows you to change your perceptions. It allows you to change what you want to perceive by going into the subconscious mind and consciously creating what you want to perceive, the way that you want, the way that you want to live, the way that you want to create your life, the way that you can be empowered and in control of your being, your wellness, your life. Otherwise, other people are controlling you. And this is why the masses follow the masses, because nobody has self-control. Everybody is in a subconscious state, following the sheep, doing what they need to do in order to fit in. This is why the fear of rejection is not about, the fear of rejection is about the fear of being rejected by other people. It's about feeling that if you stand out, you will not be loved. If you are unique, you will not be loved. And there's nothing so wrong than that belief right there. To know that you will be loved, cherished, and adored by the right people at the right time, but the right things. Your life will explode into the authentic nature in which you resonate at. By you saying, you know what, your subconscious mind is literally telling you, you will die. Sorry, I had a phone call. You will die if you choose to be your authentic self. You will not fit in. You will not have love. You will not be this way. You will not be cherished and adored by you speaking your truth. And this is all stuff that I was going through. And I was holding myself back. My truth was literally, it was like clamped. And I was busy thinking other people's truths and processing other people's stuff because it gave me attention. Ew. When I know that my true self, my true state of being is clear, joyful, spontaneous, adventurous, and full of life. And if I'm not feeling that way, and if I'm analyzing about everything, that means I'm being controlled by somebody else. So now, what I find myself doing, I take care of myself, prioritizing my needs, put your oxygen mask on first, creating my self-care routine, getting back into the flow, that other people are doing what they want to do, and that's not the boat that I want to be on. Because that boat is not authentic. I see right through the lies. I see right through it. And I don't want to be a part of the lies. I want to live as a part of the truth. So, if anybody would like to reach out, feel free. Schedule a session or come to our event on July 29th. And thank you so much, Carol. I really appreciate that. July 29th, the Tale of Two Worlds, The Light of Two Worlds, with myself and Jade Lyons, who is absolutely wonderful. He's an amazing sound alchemist, and myself with 25 years worth of meditation. I'm a Reiki master. I'm a Lightarian Reiki master. I'm a master Metatronia therapist. But also I've gone through so much shit, and I've overcome it. And now I don't need to be in a state of survival anymore. So I would like to help other people step out of that and into a life that's full of joy and inner peace. If you don't know how to do that, contact me or come to our event. Yay! All right, much love, you guys. Have a beautiful day. Feel free to share this, please.